I had to do a follow-up on this one with some new developments that have come out with this kkkeisel fella. Now, some information has come out about him, shanek. He was a former patrolman in the Utah Highway Patrol, and now he works at a Toyota dealer in the area. I believe it's Brent. I'll put it down in the description. Brent something Toyota in the Orem, Utah area. I'm assuming that's somewhere near Salt Lake City. I think he works in the accessories or parts department, a manager or something like that. Now, when he tried to play the victim, like they always do, although that tends to be the women, but like a woman, he tried to play the victim, but he went to Twitter, his Twitter account, to delete racist tweets that he had in support of Trump, echoing Trump with his S-hole countries comment, talking about Haiti and other nations. In a previous situation, talking about how Westbrook needed to go back where he came from. This guy is as I said in my last podcast, and I figured, this guy is a 45 supporter, a MAGA, and I love that I found this out with this story. Apparently now people have been calling them maggots. Yeah, maggots or maggots. So this maggot right here, even though he wasn't wearing his red hat, just like, look, I know someone could have said it's like profiling, but I called it. I said he looks like the type. He looks like it and he sounds like it. Don't let that hat he was wearing and that Jordan jacket with that hoodie, don't let that fool you. He seemed like the type. Now, also, he is the cousin of former NFL player Monty Keisel, who was a defensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a number of years. Now, his cousin came out and he was like, oh, well, he was deployed in Iraq. I don't care about that crap. That's his decision if he wants to fight America's unholy wars. So this guy was in the military and he was former highway patrol. I'm glad he's no longer a cop, although that shows you that these cops have these racists and these race soldiers on their force. And you also have it in America's Legion. They're Praetorian. Now, Brett Keisel. Oh, I'm sorry. Earlier I said Monty Keisel. Brett Keisel is his name. Now, Brett Keisel, the cousin who played for the Steelers, he's a Mormon. He's a part of the Mormon church. Now, in the last podcast, after this one's over, go check out what I said about the history of the Mormon church. So I'm going to assume, because let's just be honest, Brett Keisel looks like the type, just like his cousin Shane Keisel. He looks like the type too. And being of the fact that he's a Mormon, I think he's probably the same way. Okay. I think the whole daggone tree is rotten. Okay. And I stated that in talking about the situation in Hoover, Alabama. So, yeah, I called on this guy, a maggot, former military, former cop, highway patrol, racist tweets on Twitter, and he is currently employed at the Brent Toyota, I believe, parts and accessories department in Orem, Utah. All right. So, like I stated in the podcast on the situation in Hoover, Alabama, where the racist daughter, her father is the owner of the Hoover Toyota, Alabama. This guy works. He's not an owner, but he's just an employee, even if he is a manager. He works at the Toyota, Brent something Toyota in Orem, Utah, probably in the Salt Lake City area. So if you don't want to patronize that business, or if you want to let that dealer, or if you want to let Toyota North America, how you feel about this racist manager who have working there, this maggot, then by all means, feel free. But you could tell by how he dresses and some of the things that he says. See, this is the problem. Even these racist whitists have gotten too comfortable and too familiar with us over the years, and they start to pick up on some of our mannerisms. You see the apparel that he's wearing. You know, you see when he was making a comment, when he was trying to play the victim, when he says Russ started acting a fool. Now, you know that doesn't come from their community. You know that comes from our community, okay? So they want to get close to us. They want to take on some of our mannerisms. They want to do some of the things we do, but you still want to be racist. You still want to be a whiteist. Well, Shane, you maybe didn't learn enough. I know there's not that much of a percentage of our brothers and sisters in the Salt Lake City area, maybe only about 5% or so. But still, you may not have learned enough from what you've picked up over the years, because obviously you haven't been figuring out that the internet in this situation, when you show your face and anyone can track your identity, that these things right here don't go well for you when the story doesn't check out, and that you could try to move and maneuver and circle the wagons all you want to. But the internet, on the 30-year anniversary of the World Wide Web, the internet is forever. Nothing is ever really truly deleted from all of these different servers. And on the internet, there is always receipts to everything that you do. So you better be careful when you post something, and you better be careful when you hit that send button, because you can't take it back. And there's a digital footprint. There's a digital trail on all of this stuff. And we definitely were able to pull the receipts on you, sucker. And in the Utah Jazz franchise, he needs to be banned for life from buying tickets. And not only that, in the NBA, he needs to be banned for life for buying tickets to any game or any other ticketed, open to the public NBA event. Banned. Banned from the Utah Jazz franchise and banned for the entire NBA. Do your job, NBA. Do your job, Adam Silver. Do your job, Utah Jazz organization. Ban him for life. If you want to show us that you don't stand by racist, just like you did with Donald Sterling, this guy needs to be banned for life. I don't care about his military service. That was his choice to go to Iraq. I don't care that he was a former highway patrolman. That was his business, okay? He needs to be banned for life. And I just want to give this last final warning, because there's only one other major pro franchise in the Salt Lake City area, the Alliance Football League. You have the Utah Stallions. If there's anybody who's been paying attention to that organization, that franchise, I would like if you would give some information if there's maybe been some incidents dealing with the American of Alliance Football League, the new Spring League, and the Utah Stallions franchise, and even also with these major universities in the state of Utah, in BYU, Utah University, and Utah State. If there's been any issues with the students, with the alumni, with the fans, let's hear it, okay? Let's hear it. So I'm really trying to figure out, I know that hatred and that whiteism and that ideology of whiteism is so hard and hardened in their hearts and their brains, but I really want to see how long these people are going to keep up doing this stuff, because with the internet and with technology and with these devices, and this sucker did an interview with the local media and exposed himself, it's not going to go well for you. It's not going to go well for you. Okay? We have your receipts, sucker.